Imagine structures so grand they defy what seems possible. Colossal monuments carved by human hands, yet touched by a divine ambition. What if the secrets of their creation and the mystery of their disappearance are far more connected than history dares to reveal? Over 4 millennia ago, in the heart of the Egyptian desert, the Great Pyramid of Giza pierced the sky. For thousands of years, it stood as the tallest structure on Earth, a monumental tomb built for the pharaoh Khufu. Its construction is a marvel of precision and scale, a testament to an ancient civilization's ingenuity that continues to baffle engineers and historians today. Each stone, weighing several tons, was placed with an accuracy that modern technology would struggle to replicate. This wasn't just a building. It was a stairway to the heavens, a monument designed to last for eternity, anchoring the pharaoh's soul to the stars. Its sheer presence on the Giza plateau is a silent, enduring declaration of power, belief, and the human will to conquer mortality itself. Meanwhile, in the arid plains of Mesopotamia, a legend was born, a story of an oasis of unparalleled beauty in the middle of a sun-baked city, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. It was said to be a mountain of lush greenery, a paradise of cascading waterfalls and exotic plants, built by King Nebuchadnezzar II for his homesick queen. Imagine terraces teeming with life, rising tier upon tier, a breathtaking spectacle of horticultural engineering. Yet, for all its fame, the Hanging Gardens remain an enigma. Archaeologists have scoured the ruins of Babylon, but not a single stone, not one definitive trace of this wonder has ever been found. Was it a real place, lost to the sands of time? Or was it merely a beautiful myth, a poetic dream of a king's love, so vivid it was mistaken for history? The mystery endures. In the bustling city of Ephesus, in what is now modern-day Turkey, stood a temple so magnificent it was considered the jewel of the ancient world, the Temple of Artemis. This was no ordinary place of worship. It was a masterpiece of devotion and art, funded by kings and built by the finest craftsmen over 120 years. Its gleaming marble columns, more than 100 of them, soared towards the heavens, adorned with intricate sculptures. Inside, a grand statue of Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, stood as the center of a powerful cult. Pilgrims traveled from across the known world to gaze upon its splendor, but its magnificence made it a target. In 356 BC, a man named Herostratus, desperate for fame, set it ablaze. Though it was rebuilt, even more grandly than before, its fate was sealed. The temple was eventually destroyed by a mob, its stones repurposed, its glory reduced to a few scattered fragments, and a single lonely column that stands today as a ghost of its former self. Journeying to Olympia, the birthplace of the ancient games, one would find a sight that could make mortals tremble. Within a majestic temple, the statue of Zeus sat enthroned, a towering figure of ivory and gold. Crafted by the master sculptor Phidias, this was not just a statue, it was the physical embodiment of the king of the gods. At over 40 feet tall, it depicted Zeus in all his divine might, his skin of polished ivory and his robes of shimmering gold. The statue was so lifelike, so awe-inspiring. It was said that to see it was to have a truly religious experience, to feel the presence of the god himself. For centuries, it was the focal point of the Olympic Games, a symbol of power and piety, but its splendor could not save it. The statue was likely moved to Constantinople, where it was tragically consumed by a fire in the 5th century AD, vanishing from the world and leaving only the descriptions of ancient writers to paint a picture of its lost majesty. On the coast of the Aegean Sea, in the city of Halicarnassus, a tomb was erected that was so spectacular it gave its name to all grand tombs that followed. The mausoleum at Halicarnassus. It was built for Mausolus, a provincial ruler in the Persian Empire, by his grieving wife and sister, Artemisia II. But this was no somber monument. It was a celebration of art and power, a stunning fusion of Greek, Egyptian, and Lycian architectural styles. Adorned with intricate reliefs and sculptures directioned by the greatest artists of the day, it rose 148 feet into the air, crowned with a chariot and 4 horses. For over a millennium and a half, It stood as a testament to one man's legacy and one woman's love. But a series of earthquakes eventually brought the magnificent structure onto vistas, its stones plundered to build a new castle, leaving behind only the foundations and a legacy embedded in our language. Imagine standing in the harbour of Rhodes, an island in the Aegean, and looking up at a bronze giant, the Colossus of Rhodes. This was not a god, but a tribute to victory. After the people of Rhodes successfully defended their island from a massive invasion, they melted down the enemy's abandoned siege equipment and forged a statue of their patron god, Helios, the sun god. Standing nearly as tall as the Statue of Liberty, it was a technical marvel, a symbol of freedom and resilience. Ships sailed between its legs into the harbour, small beneath its bronze gaze. Yet its reign was tragically short. Only 54 years after its completion, a powerful earthquake struck the island, snapping the statue at its knees. It collapsed into a heap of ruins, and for centuries its massive fragments lay where they fell, a tourist attraction in Mati own right, until they were eventually sold for scrap metal. In the ancient world, the sea was a place of danger and uncertainty. But for sailors approaching the coast of Egypt, a light shone in the darkness. The Lighthouse of Alexandria, standing on the island of Pharos. It was one of the most practical and advanced wonders, a triumph of science and engineering. Reaching a height of possibly 400 feet, it was one of the tallest man-made structures of its time. At its peak, a great mirror reflected sunlight during the day and a fire at night, its beam visible from up to 35 miles away. For over 1,500 years, it was a beacon of hope, a symbol of Alexandria's status as a center of knowledge and trade. It guided countless ships to safety, saving lives and fostering commerce. But it could not withstand the relentless power of the earth and sea. A series of earthquakes slowly chipped away at its structure, until in the 15th century, the last of its remnants crumbled into the Mediterranean, which claimed the final wonder for itself. One by one, they vanished, taken by war, toppled by disaster, and erased by neglect. Time spares no wonder. The towering statues, the magnificent temples, the impossible gardens, all returned to dust and legend. Yet their stories endure. They echo through the centuries, whispers of ambition and artistry that inspired every cathedral, every temple, and every tower that followed. They set a benchmark for human achievement, a challenge desafios future generations to build, to dream, and to reach for the heavens. The legacy of the ancient wonders is not just in the ruins they left behind. It's in our own skylines, in our relentless drive to push the boundaries of what is possible. They remind us that greatness is fragile, that even the most monumental creations can be lost, but they also teach us that the human desire to build, to create, and to be remembered, that is a force that will never fade. The rise and fall of the ancient wonders is not just a story from the distant past, it's the story of us, dreamers, builders, and seekers of eternity. Thank you for joining us on this journey through forgotten histories. If you were captivated by these lost worlds, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more stories from the annals of time.